Yeah, very nicely done so far. Decent to get the headshot. I think it was Darty in there with the grenade. That's going to push the remaining members of LDLC White over towards middle, where Alien and T is going to get, oh my gosh, 2 more headshots. So to talk about Alien and T's a little bit, as they're the members I know better than the others on Torpedo, which is to say I don't know the others very well at all. But Alien and T's played for Infinity, so we got to see a lot of Infinity through the pro placement tournaments for the CEVO MLG Season 8 Pro League, of which they actually did qualify, put up very good results against some teams, played well against Flipside, played well against Hellraisers. So those are some of the quality results, and I was very surprised to then see T's and Alien leave that roster, kind of just wondering where they went, and today I get to realize where they went, over here to Torpedo, and I would expect these guys to be very, very strong and probably be able to even take the victory over LDLC White. Torpedo's 7-0 here in CEVO main, whereas LDLC White is 5-1, so they've actually dropped the map.
I mean, Torpedo made it pretty far. I mean, they were almost at this offline qualifier that starts on Tuesday for the next major. I mean, they were just 1 map away from it. So definitely a team that I guess is rising up in Sweden to some degree. I mean, nowhere near the top Swedish teams, of course, but it's a new name that almost made it to the offline qualifier for the major. So give them a little credit here, as they are just kind of shutting down LDLC White on this round. Of course, it was a save round for LDLC White. They're trying to make themselves over to A now with the bomb, and maybe they actually might be able to make it in here unless Tees can stop them with this FAMAS. But they have been held up, so they haven't been able to get in with the bomb just yet. In there, it gets cut off by Adder.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is Torpedo GG's players, they don't have McDonald's menu items named after them quite yet. But maybe there's a chance one day.
But neither does Fnatic, and they're still the best team in the world.
That's
so you know.
True.
Yeah.
It's just the nip love, man. That's all it is. People love them.
I guess it's like one of those things where we've seen Torpedo beat some of like the weaker teams we know, like Kick and things like that. Anytime they've gone up against like a team that we are familiar with, like a Mouse Sports or a Penta, or even this Finnish team, Mixcat, that's where they've struggled. But they have put up some decent numbers against those teams.
Hey, they beat Space Soldiers, man.
Okay.
That's
I don't know what that means, but
that's an achievement in my eyes.
Right on.
Maybe there's a When I'm Torpedo GG video coming out soon to a theater near you.
Here's my only thing. Their name's Torpedo Esports, maybe, or is it just Torpedo G? I don't know.
Torpedo GG.
Okay. What does a Stingray have to do with the torpedo?
That is a pretty fair question. Maybe the Stingray's name is Torpedo?
Why couldn't they just get a torpedo?
Why wouldn't they just personify a torpedo? And
yeah,
then,
why
like,
couldn't they just
have that be their mascot? I agree.
I think that, yeah, I mean, I just don't get the
Maybe it's
Stingray
because,
thing.
I was really hoping Arian would get that. I was going to say it's because their op shots sting, but then he got killed by the AK. He got bodied by a body. And now that is into the first rifle round here. Torpedo, obviously we kind of just talked over those rounds after they got the pistol. They walked over LDLC White, who have been able to bring out their AKs here, going for some utility on Matt's end. He will be just with the Tech 9. There's decent. We'll find body. Does get that revenge. But the grenade coming in for Matt and takes him down. Fuchs as well, getting Darty, clearing him out of the B's site. It's open for business, and Devil is still lurking really, really hard. Up on top of the boost, he will bring down Tees.
So well done here from LDLC White, almost a team ace. It could be if Toynu somehow finds Adder. But it was just LDLC White playing pretty default, pretty spread across the map, but just being able to find those opening picks. We did see a couple of guys from Torpedo get a little bit more aggressive on the B side of the map, you know, take a couple of peeks down into B main. And they got caught for it, as well as, I can't remember who that was. I think it was Decent that was inside Checkers, you know, only getting a 1-for-1 trade as well. So
yeah, it was.
just the duels on that side of the map really favoring LDLC White. Nothing too special. But they just really just kind of had their way in those fights there, and are able to secure the first round for themselves. 3-1 here, the opening gun round going to Team LDLC White. So Torpedo here, still pretty good amount of money banked up on several players, so that they could do a little bit of dropping here. And yeah, we'll see them still buy up.
It'll be a bit limited, of course. On some of their name, or even will it? No, wow, they actually get a lot more out of that than I thought with just that one FAMAS able to be dropped.
Yeah,
but here
and they had 2 guys with 8K, so
yeah, I guess that'll help. They farmed up on those previous rounds, that's for sure. The op is once again in the hands of Twanu, this guy, or Twanu. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth between what I say, and I can never remember what's actually correct. But I'm sure someone's out there to correct us. He is insane with the op. When this guy is on, he is on. I've seen him drop 50 bombs in just like double overtimes. That was a Dust 2 match. I can't quite remember who they were playing, but it wasn't like an easy opponent or anything.
Right. I like how Torpedo's set up here. I mean, they have 3 guys mid right now, so they have a pretty fast rotate, including Decent, who's already inside the vents. He will get mollied out, but he's actually just going to smoke it and stay inside. But now he can't see anything as LDLC White are coming in. And Mathen, he knows what's up. He sees that smoke in there. He knows exactly what's going on. Just waiting for him to eventually peek. You even have to go chase after him. This is quite interesting here.
Yeah, this is pretty awkward. Now Decent finally getting shot in the back. Mathen will get him as that smoke dissipates. Awian holding onto the site. He does have a friend there in Darty on the lower part of CT, but that's now going to be smoked off. So Awian holding onto the site all by himself. Can he find a frag? Fuchs will spot him. And Fuchs and Body actually both there. And Fuchs not even needing any help. Gets the frag. Still not 100% sure if site's clear. And now they should know. Bomb going down. Molotov up onto Tease. That's going to back him off. And it's a 3-on-5 retake. I mean, all 3 of these guys have kits, but you'd have to think that they're going to want to try to save. Adder even goes to throw a deagle to fake a flash so that he can retreat out.
Yeah, I mean, that's just LDLC White again, just really working this mid-B side of the map quite a lot in what we've seen so far on the gun rounds. And just, I mean, the thing is, when you throw a Molotov inside the vents and you have some guys outside B, and they don't see a guy fall out of vents, and there's a smoke thrown inside there. I mean, LDLC White knows what's up. And just being able to isolate that vents player, that's the key rotator that Torpedo had in place. And there was only one person playing the actual B-bomb site at that point. Your other 2 guys were still rotating from mid, and there was still a guy like way over at the A-bomb site. So once they got that kill, I mean, they just have a huge advantage to take the site, and they make it work. So they are now 1 round behind Torpedo after losing the pistol round pattern. Now they're right back into the game.
And I don't know, looking at the recent results of Torpedo, I would actually favor them here on Cash over LDLC White, but it is kind of hard to grab, a lot of information from, non-head-to-head matchups. Like, we've got Torpedo beating some pretty decent teams. LDLC White doing okay, but it was a while ago back on the Star Series 13 land that they had some good results here on Cash. And like you had even kind of commented, it has been a while since we've really seen LDLC White. They were a team that was kind of on the cusp, getting quite a bit of notoriety for themselves, and kind of just disappeared.
Right. I mean, they're kind of considered the 3rd team in France behind Envy and Titan, but they're like well behind those 2 teams. You know what I mean? So we can say they're number 3 in France, but there's really a huge gap between the top 2 in France and number 3 with LDLC White. And they were considered the better of the 2 LDLC teams, White and Blue. But we've yet to see them have like a big result against a really big team. But neither one of these teams have been able to do that, and they're both kind of some smaller name teams. But they're playing pretty good today against each other. As LDLC White though does have the advantage. They have taken full mid control. Now they're working to the A bomb side.
Yeah, you'd expect it to be close. Probably not going to see a 16-2 like we just did over there on Train for the first main match. Bondi will grab Decent as he's rotating over. So 4v2, well, it was 4v3 post plant for a second, but pretty much 4v2. That'll mean Awian and Adder are once again running away to save these guns. Had forced up after saving 3 people, saving guns in the last round, so they will be pretty broke going into this next. They'll probably run a full eco with just these 2 guns and see what they can't do. Do some damage to the terrorists at least.
Right, so, I mean, tied game near at 3-all. LDLC White winning all the rifle rounds thus far, and they may even be able to stop these saves from taking place here, as Alien will be getting picked up here by Body in just a second, possibly. But so far, no actual engagement takes place. Devil does push in and grab Adder, so that 1 FAMAS by Alien and Checkers is still going to be in play. We did have a pause. Darty disconnected from the server. Hopefully he'll be back soon and we'll get this thing going again, but I mean, LDLC White just working some good map control. I mean, we had their first rifle round was really just based off of working B and capitalizing on an opportunity they discovered on someone vents, and that round was just them being able to work mid control. So they seem to be feeling out Torpedo really well on what type of presence Torpedo's putting at mid, and or if there's no presence there at all, and they just take what's given to them basically. On LDLC White, they're playing quite disciplined, and they work really well together so far.
They've also caught Torpedo, saving some guns and trying to force up. The first time they had a pretty decent round. That last time, not so much in terms of extra utility. And here, it does appear that only Alien was able to save. Looks like Adder was brought down. The CZ he'll have in hand as Kevin checks out this crane.
Oh, dude, you can't leave Kevin on a pause for too long there.
He gets
he'll try
distracted pretty fast.
Yeah, he'll definitely try to fly around and make some cool shots happen. Just discovering new camera angles like this one. Gotta watch how those CT spread out the spawn, man. This one's a little better. This one, actually has some value as we do see LDLC White gearing up inside A main. Already a pick onto decent, but the FAMAS is still in play. They have a triple man push squeaky door with that FAMAS, but they're not going to see anybody. Everyone's in A main, but maybe they'll catch Toy New. I don't know. Or get a flank off. Nah, Devil's onto it.
Yeah, trying to push through Squeaky, but you always got to expect something is up when the CTs run these sort of save rounds. It'll be Tease and Adder trying to just hold on to the A site. Adder might go unnoticed as a lot of people push through Squeaky and he's still holding in there. So a bit of mind games from Torpedo should allow them to get at least one backstab kill, assuming LDLC don't just hightail it the other way. They've gone out towards mid and through the vents now, and they'll completely dodge that trap that was trying to be set over at Squeaky Door.
And I think they just sniffed out the pressure that was over on the A side, and they kind of realized that, hey, we had a bunch of guys push Squeaky. There's a good chance this might actually just be a full A-bomb side stack, and, I mean, they were right. They shift over to B, and they secure an easy round there. So now 4 in a row from LDLC White to respond to the 3-0 start from Torpedo, and they're looking pretty good on this terrorist side, Cash. But now we're going to see Torpedo finally back on guns again. They're actually even putting out a double op, which will be neat. I mean, you can anchor each site with one while you put 3 mid with rifles, which we've already seen Torpedo willing to put 3 mid with rifles. So this would be a good equipment set to do that yet again. But there's definitely some other things you could do with it. So we'll just have to see. Looks like Alien will take his B, but the other one on T's is A. So yeah, they are kind of anchoring each site with one.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Just anchor each site with an op. It played 3 over towards middle. They actually did put 2 towards B at the start of this one. AWN gets his kill at B. T's net A. And Decent there supporting with the rifle at B to find another. Devil will take one of them out of the round. And T's and AWN were kind of those oppers for Infinity. Along with, they had a third. Was it Max Aki? I think it might be. But T's was absolutely nuts. I think they had Yazar as well. That team was just full of oppers. Like, maybe that's why they split up, to be honest. They just had so much opping talent of the team was almost wasted. See AWN good for 2 on this round, and Devil left with a 1 versus 4.
So, I mean, both oppers in this situation being able to get some frags going. In fact, the majority of the frags of the round went to the ops, and Alien still up with his, and might run into Devil here in just a second to pick up a third for himself. And again, as you note, just an op in each site, but also they did have a second guy inside checkers putting pressure as well with 2 mid. So that's one other way to do it here. But LDLC White now knows that those ops are in play, and I'm sure they can adjust accordingly. Given if that op from T is even repicked back up, we'll see. I'm sure it would be at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be as well. Darty is still over at the A site. He will get that long range spray down, immediately knives out.
And get to the
going for the AK, actually. So they're just going to keep... doesn't even get to that. They're just going to keep the one op here.
Yeah, I guess so. They're going to keep it there on Alien, and Rifle will go to T's. And so, yeah, as you noted, just going to have the one op. Toy New will pick up his op there for LDLC White. And we do see Toy New taking his op over towards the B lobby area, which is where Alien's at with his op as well. So we could just see a head-to-head op battle here in a second over towards the B lobby, and that could really kind of dictate the pace of this round depending on how that pick goes.
Yeah, they should know that other op wasn't preserved, so they're not expecting T's to be opping at the A site. They want to try to land this pick. Twanu probably thinking in this case, like, I'm the better opper. Or Twanu, I'll go 2-0-2. Thinking that he's the better opper. Which may or may not be true. We didn't really get to see a quick flashy battle as some smokes and flashes were down at B.
Right. Yeah, they didn't have any type of exchange whatsoever. Now we do see a late mid push maybe possibly coming out here from Fuchs 20. They're looking for an op pick now for himself. There's no smokes up at mid, so we're just looking to see if anyone's peeking CTZ or highway, but no one giving him anything to aim at here just yet. They're just kind of jiggle peeking out, but being very, very cautious, not wanting to give any picks here as Devil's still set up at Squeaky Door. Body has made it actually into checkers behind the box. So they had some pretty good control over here on the B side of the map. So I assume this is where they really want to take the hit, maybe just throwing a distraction with Devil.
Yeah, so it will be A-Win. It takes a long time, but he will find the first frag. There's Toinu. He'll bring him down. Decent still playing on that first box. Oh, it won't even be spotted. Darty from CT to take down Body, so Decent goes completely unnoticed. You can see Fuchs over towards the back of the blue tarp. Pulls out that Molotov. Oh my gosh, Molotov's going everywhere. Just light the world on fire. That seemed to have been the strat there from both teams. And only A-Win to go down. Op to be preserved. And the Op from Toinu has been picked up, so they get that double up set up right back.
Exactly. Just well done there from Torpedo. I mean, even though LDLC White got into checkers and had some really good, positioning there to press to the B-bomb side, just Decent being so patient behind that double stack inside the site. It also helped that LDLC White didn't have any type of smoke or anything on lower CT, so Darty able to peek out his M4 as well. Keep Decent basically in position without having to use him until the later part of the round, to where you could really have like a maximum impact. So well done. But LDLC White changing the pace in a big way, just straight out rushing A with full rifles.
Yeah, and landing on a grenade. I think that was Darty. Oh, it was Darty and Adder, who each got one, then each have been brought down. And that site that is easier to retake. They haven't even let Devil leave the site. That nade might even bring him in. No, it must have went way too far. He didn't even take a point of damage from it. And some smokes trying to get themselves out of the site. And that was actually a botched Molotov from the CTs that are stopping them from kind of pushing in. They have found Fuchs. Devil, pushes that smoke. Was almost burning at that first wooden box. And Matten back in quad will be brought in by Tease. Another nice shot for him, and the double ops to stay preserved. Torpedo didn't do so hot on that first rifle. Actually lost 4 in a row off of that, but since picking up the ops, they've now got 3 in a row themselves.
Yeah, I mean, LDLC White just kind of changing things up, changing the tempo a little bit. They've been working the map, pretty slow and methodically for the most part, just working picks and kind of spreading the map. This time they just gather up and just try an immediate A rush, no hesitancy, just trying to spill out as quickly as possible. And they had an even exchange at first, so that actually kind of favored them, but just the retake from Torpedo too strong there. And as you noted, they are going to get 3 in a row to take the lead back now by 2. The op from Toino getting boosted, but A-Win playing mid to kick off the round will find the initial pick. So LDLC White playing a man down instantaneously. Body does recycle the op, but this is still going to be tough from LDLC White to play from.
That it is. And T's still set up over here. Pushed more aggressively in checker, kind of watching Sunroom, but could easily flick over if Matten peeks out a little bit closer. Body over towards mid. He's the opper now for LDLC. He's picked it up. Molotov's off those sandbags. Going to make sure those are clear as he works himself out middle. And I guess they're going to try to go through the vents and group up. I'm sure. I thought, was that no scope supposed to break the vent? I don't know. Or was he just warming up for that one? Brings down Decent. T's turning around, gets Matten, but Fuchs is there behind him. We've got a 3-on-3 situation. Terrace not quite able to get into the site yet, and now they'll get it. That smoke was really far out. Extinguishes.
Oh, yeah.
But there must have been a gap because Adder finds a
was.
frag through it. That's Devil going down. Fuchs planting here in the back of the site. Pretty much the default spot.
Right. It is a little bit open, though, for his teammate, which is going to be Body with that op. Like, he actually can spot that from B main and checkers pretty easily, but the flank comes in from Darty. It's now a 1 versus 1, and that nade could just be the GG nade. Nope, Fuchs steps right out of range of it. He will step out, look for the frag, but Darty finds it instead, and then so there you have it. Diffused comes in, and Torpedo now at 4 rounds in a row, and so this game has been back and forth in the sense we've seen each team be able to kind of settle in and get a little bit of a streak going. But then the opponent always seems to kind of respond. Now it's LDLC White's turn to see if they can come up with something since Torpedo have, been really putting this double op to use.
Man, we kind of just switched away from Fuchs' double kill, but I think both of those guys were coming in from upper. Fuchs was in the site and he just gunned them both down. Or maybe if one was upper and one was lower, the fact that he got both would be pretty insane. But I think they were both coming upper, and then that left him with the 1v1 as Darty came in on the flank with 1 kill. Then it was able to bring down Fuchs. But another rifle round here. Decent again from that checker position. Going to find a kill off towards the B site. Body will get teased and get Decent as they fly through checker once again onto the B site. This time they will have a man advantage. That smoke will not leave a gap, and they've already crossed.
Right, so, I mean, they're working this bomb down into the site now. They do have a one-man advantage here. Alien does have that op inside Heaven, looking for the cross, and he does find it, so he evens the odds back up here. But LDLC White, they've been pretty decent on their post plants inside this B-bomb site. So we'll see if they can keep it up here yet again, but Torpedo GG, I mean,
they've lost the man advantage. They tried to fight off more than they can chew. They had one flank around Z, and he was just brought in and killed. Time is getting low. Fuchs landing a shot. Twanu with a nice one here behind the sight box. And I think time is going to be a little bit too low for Adder to do this. He will just run away. He knows he's beat. Fuchs would do the other thing. Do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, and pick up that op.
Yeah, so he's going to get that op there for Toyanu for his team. And so LDLC White do respond. Neither team being able to streak more than 4 in a row, though each have done so in this half at some point. And so, therefore, we've had a close half because of that. You know, not mixed in the sense we're not going round for round here, but each team, like I said, has been able to find a bit of a streak before the other team adjusts. And with Torpedo GG being a little bit low here money-wise on a couple of their players here, they do have 2 players with decent money, so maybe they still try to put together some type of buy here. Because you can, you know, obviously upset LDLC White's economy, reset them, since that was just their first round win in a while. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to get the op on A-Win. They have an M4 on Decent, Tease and Darty. They'll just stick on the pistols. And they're just going to try to see if they can't, you know, take it to LDLC White here and now and just force them to save next round.
Man, Fuchs's knife name is like so serious. Vengeance. I don't know.
At least it's not named skins.com.
Or just their Twitter. That one's pretty funny too.
At least they're not selling out.
CSGO fake website.com.
Yeah. I will accept that over selling out.
I would be very vengeful if I had a bayonet. I don't even know what that knife skin is called, to be honest. What's the red one that has like the unique pattern?
Crimson Web?
No, not Crimson, the other one.
Slaughter.
Yeah, Slaughter. There it is. The one phase of it has a mustache on the knife, and I can't unsee it. He doesn't have the mustache. If he did, Vengeance would be a very silly name. As Devil, I think, did his deagle shot like actually hit the garage right above him as he was kind of moving with it? I don't know.
I am not sure there, but we do know that Torpedo is a man up here. The bomb's down inside mid, but LDLCY have collected it back here. They are going to bring it into the vents. There is one player right below him. It's going to be Decent with the M4. They know exactly where he is. They do trade him out, but time is on a Torpedo's side, and they have the man advantage here as Adder could even catch Devil before he crosses in, but Devil. That was indeed a very nice shot, and now we have the bomb going down in a 1v1 situation at hand.
Another adequately named weapon from Fuchs here. Let's see what Devil can't do with it at the headshot ledge. Doesn't look like Tease has got the information yet. And, Tease will even spot him first, but Devil's just too quick. And, of course, you know, it only takes one bullet from the AK.
I mean, that was just 3 really nice kills there at the end from Devil to salvage the round, despite the fact the start of it didn't go so well for LDLC White. They were a man down going into that last little maneuver there through the vents, and they somehow found a way to make it work, and they avoid their money being reset. That is certainly good, but still a lot of rebuying has had to take place. But Torpedo not in any real position to punish that, just being on the pistol. So LDLC White will maybe just dodge a terrible situation based on that.
Matt Tend and Body teaming up to dish out
has to stare at his
some
boys
pain
laying on the ground. Just pour one out for your homies, Decent.
Yeah, seriously. Where's my broken bottle of a broken 40 glass bottle as my knife skin? And the inspect can just be pouring it out. That'd be awesome. That's the next knife. I work for Valve. My uncle works for Counter-Strike, and that's what he told me the next knife was gonna be.
I think I saw on the subreddit the next knife is supposed to be a pizza cutter.
Yeah, the pizza cutter was good. The plastic cutlery was also good.
I think for Halloween they should have released like a machete or
pitchfork
something.
Or like Freddy Krueger claws. How sick would that be?
That would be a Halloween.
They already did the dumb masks. They might as well.
Yeah.
Yo, and a chainsaw.
Dude, there's so many possibilities with the Halloween knife pack. The whole case of knives, but they only work for Halloween.
Hire this man.
They only work for Halloween, though. So everyone gets a knife, but you just get it for a day.
Or, you know, more than like the event, like 2 weeks or so. GIF Diretide, Volvo, Diretide. Darty going to go through the smoke. He's going to dart through the smoke, one might say, and then completely whiff on that spray onto Fuchs. Now it's Tease's turn. He'll connect, but Toinu is there behind him, and that'll be the 8-7 half here, and the French will have it by 1 point.
Apparently, Chad agrees. They would like to see the Halloween knife.
I mean, if you disagree with that, like you might
Think
might
about
take
the money
life
Valve
too
can make.
seriously.
Like, it's literally the first case ever in the game where you're guaranteed a knife. It's just the only catch is it costs a bit more to open.
Oh, you're making
and it's
people
only
buy it?
temporary.
I no longer like you. I'm voting you out of office.
Fine. I mean,
You would just have to play like an event, like the Halloween event, and then you get random items from that event.
Okay, yeah. We could do some type of event where you just get the case at the end of your
And then
mission.
there would actually be a Halloween case with real items like, you know, a Headless Horseman M4A4 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, did these guys get like our recent
just,
report? Like, we're doing all of these things. How do they know?
Just give us a call, Matt Wood. We'll sort this out. But we are going into the second half here. Pretty solid first half. I mean, each team at one point in the half were really showing us something there. But in the end, this map is pretty balanced, I would say. I think it's one of the most balanced maps in the rotation, but there still is a slight CT leaning to it. So the fact that LDLC White wins the half from T side certainly going to play to their advantage here. But look at the aggression here from LDLC White now, pushing 2 main and a 2 squeaky door. They're definitely going to get the jump here, and they might even get the bomb down decent, trying to get out of there. He finally does, but the pressure is on. But look at this, Adder catching the fallback a little bit here.
Yeah, unfortunately, still at distance with that Glock. Couldn't quite find that kill to even it up. Darty with the Tech 9, getting in behind these players that were forced to go back in towards the squeaky room. Only gets the one. Did light up the other now. Body getting the shoot players in the back, which is considerably easier now with the new hitbox changes. Before, there was almost no chance he even killed one of them.
He's going to get a plan.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Probably won't win, but...
Yeah, I mean, when LDLC White saw all that pressure coming from highway into the A-bomb site, plus there's still players floating around A-man, squeaky door, they just, full committed to that side of the map, which allowed Decent to rotate all the way back to get the bomb plant. But, I mean, in this 1 versus 3, there should be no way he wins this, especially with the Tech 9 in the cards here for Devil.
Oh, game sound
my God.
Game sound is fixed, everybody. Sorry about that.
Oh, he almost won that, actually. Because Devil was the low health player with 21 HP. He got the 2 high health players with the Glock, and he almost pulled it off. That would have been absolutely gnarly if he would have got that one. But Devil does save the day for LDLC White. Puts them up another round here. 9-7 is the score. And we'll see if they can hold the pattern, if they can get the start here to get them to 11.
All right, so Torpedo, I mean, having planted, just go for the P250s right here. I mean, the P250 no armor buy-up is definitely less potent on the T side because you're still the team that has to bust a move first. And I think the submachine guns kind of can capitalize, as opposed to, going for a force as a CT where you get to hold these cheeky angles where the P250 or the 5.7 can find a one-shot. So I wouldn't expect too much here from Torpedo. They'd be pretty happy if they could find a kill. And they do! And the CT's actually kind of giving up. As they get aggressive, it lets Torpedo hold that close angle. They're trying to hunt the man who was low there in Sunroom, and it'll end up that Torpedo do get 2 kills. And I think that will, well, I guess, depending on who else dies, which is nobody, there should be 1 more rifle to pick up. Yeah, the FAMAS there instead of the MP7, and they get it. So nothing of value was really lost on that round for LDLC White.
Yeah, just cleaning it up there, just getting inside the B lobby. I think Madden had 3 kills there on that push, so just putting it to Torpedo. Torpedo did get that first round bomb plant, and they were very conservative on their buying that last round, so they do get the full AKs out here and now. And it's also good they saved those 3 rifles for LDLC White, and then they bought up 2 more. So now we're pretty much on our first rifle round of the game. Torpedo has higher firepower with the AKs, but they do have lower utility when it comes to the actual nade usage. So they're going to have to be pretty smart with their nades here, kind of save them up for their actual execute and for whatever they want to do post-plant. So they can only really just kind of spread out, look for picks here without using too much equipment, then kind of gather up and go for something.
Oh, I was about to say, so far LDLC not giving them much to work with, but they go for the flash and the double push into A main. Tease is there. You see Darty just trying to spam in through the wall. And that does do quite a bit to take their attention. Then Tease just re-peeks and will bring down Devil.
Well done.
And a pause is coming in. It's actually a pause from LDLC White. I see all the CTs moving. Are there two? No, okay, so someone has legged out. I thought maybe
Yes.
it was going to be a body just because he is so stationary over at fence, but no, it
Right.
was Twinu.
Yeah, Torpedo now have just avoided the 8 side of the map. They've been able to get the kill at mid, and that leads them to a completely free and open B bomb site where they will, in fact, get this plant, and they should secure the round with, LDLC White already just saving these 2 M4s for next round, as they are going to have their economy broken here a little bit early, and they do not have a whole lot of money. They might even be forced into double save territory here, Joey. So this could basically just allow Torpedo right back into a tie, despite LDLC White getting off to the good start in the second half.
Yeah, it can always get a bit awkward. I mean, when the CTs save rifles, right? It's like, now we have rifles, we kind of want to put them to use. Let's have 3 guys force up, have 2 rifles. It's not as much fun, I guess, to just have the rifles and then go for an eco, because I don't even think the rifles do much for you in that case. Like, maybe there's a small chance that Torpedo runs into the one crossfire you set up with rifles.
I feel like you have to set up a play. Like, you have to
Yeah.
actually either orchestrate some type of stack or push still, which I know a lot of teams will do a stack or push on full save rounds, but I feel like you have to do the same with limited rifles. And I especially hate when people put a rifle off on an island by themselves and they stack 4 people on the other side or something like that. You got to be there to recycle that rifle if you can with one of your
Yeah.
pistolers in case he dies or something. That way you can get more use out of it throughout the round. So I definitely favor people actually setting up a set play with
the
it.
1-4 split, I mean, does kind of have its merits, but it's more of a gamble. Like, if they do walk
Right.
into your stack of P255-7s, then that's fantastic. If they do hit your rifle, he actually
just
needs
rather
to
than-
kill like 2 people. Otherwise, you
I
don't
would
have much of a
rather just
chance.
put that rifle in the stack then at that point, though.
Yeah,
Just leave a pistol
that's
by
true.
himself.
And yeah, leave a pistol by himself the spot. I would actually agree with that. Oh, he went.
Well, that or a situation like this
also
where you
gonna-
have 2 rifles,
I'm
maybe
going to the
anchor one.
toilet.
Oh, I thought you were going to the toilet.
If the players are going to the toilet, I'm going to the toilet. I will.
Go for it, man.
No, I'm
Can
just
you
kidding. I'm
take
not-
your microphone with you
I'm not gonna
and just
leave.
let us get a little bit of the experience
Just-
ourselves?
No, I'm not going to do that.
This is a
my-
day in the life.
My
with,
microphone is
Joey
wired.
Helium
I'm
Umbrella.
sorry.
Oh. Well, who cares, man? Just like walk your computer down.
I wish I had some water left to just like pour into another cup of water just to make everyone think that actually happened.
That would be great.
But I don't. I don't have a cup of water left, which is why I would like to go to the toilet.
Get like a soundboard where I like flush the toilet and everyone freaks out.
I could do that. This could be orchestrated. But it looks like we're back. 20 is back in. A bit unfortunate. He did, of course, disconnect in that round without being able to do anything or getting killed. Even still, I don't think it would have mattered. Maybe the terrorists lose a player, or maybe LDLC White saved 3 weapons. So it's maybe something worth noting, but I don't think it is actually the biggest of deals that he was out of that round. I don't think he lagged out right at the start. He played a little bit of that. People had already died, and then he kind of timed out. But here we go.
Didn't really catch that, but we are going to be into the round here. They are putting the M4s to use. Body has been able to pick up 1 here, and Fuchs has his right behind him. So they did put the 2. They paired up the rifle with someone else, except Madden. Madden is anchoring 1, but they had the rifle next to someone
That
else.
Desert
And what's up?
Strike with the nip sticker actually looks so good.
Oh my god, dude. Leave it. Joey is literally just like a raccoon.
I mean,
and,
everyone
the
thinks
skins
the
in this
like,
game are shiny objects. and he
everyone
just
thinks
has
the
to
Desert
grasp for
Strike is
them.
like the ugliest skin ever, but it actually looks so good with the nip sticker. Yo,
I
good.
still feel like you're a raccoon, man. Like the
I'm a
skins of the shiny
raccoon?
thing. You just got like how raccoons like shiny stuff.
Isn't
they just
that
go
dr-
reaching for it
aren't
no
those
matter what.
dragons?
That's you.
What dragon? I'd rather be a dragon than a raccoon.
Nah, it's the
Your
raccoon,
reference
man.
sucks. I'm a dragon.
Come on, everyone here has read where the red
for-
fern grows at some point if you're in America. So
This is Europe, mate. Look at
that's
this,
true.
though. Coming in with
That's
the
true.
deagle. Fuchs is that one man that put a deagle and a Kevlar behind those rifles. Well, he put Kevlar. A couple others had deagles. That nade does a lot. They've heard the bomb. They've got to peek out. They don't see the wires. Will they peek again? Pros don't fake! He's the Fuching man. Fuchs is the Fuching man.
maybe the fucking man.
Maybe. I don't know. That was nuts. Yo, so much for the CT diffuse wires ruining the game, huh? Because Fuchs still pulled that off. So much for that freak out on Reddit.
Yeah, let's just use one play and to silence all the criticism.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot here. As LDLC White off that play, get themselves out of a tough bind there where they really had kind of limited guns. They make it work here, but Torpedo waiting for the B lobby push for so patiently there towards the back of T-Spawn. They're able to get those kills, and now they do have a one-man advantage. And this game's starting to get a little bit scrappy here, starting to get a little bit back and forth in this second half. And it's been a much better game than the last one.
I don't know. I think the first half, press the scoreboard and tell me that's not the definition of back and forth. It's like block of 3, 4, 4, and then 4 the other way.
Yeah, at each point in the half, someone had some control there, right? But, I mean, me back and forth is when you see a rifle round go to one team, and the other team wins the next rifle round, and no one can establish an economy. It just gets really scrappy. That's kind of how I view it. I guess there's two different ways to view a back and forth game.
Oh, Devil. I didn't think he was that blind. Did not notice that Adder got up on top of that boost. So he will go down. I guess a lot to watch there as he's already got some fallen comrades. The Terrorists have a man advantage. He's trying to cover more than he realistically can, and he gets brought down. Adder with the 3K. He's killed everybody so far.
There's no...
Pretty low, so I don't think he can continue on for the ace.
Well, they don't smoke off Toinu, so he can still put his op on here, but Darty comes up the highway and grabs him. And Mathen was already pushed B, so I mean, he had a good information there, but just so far away to get back to do anything in this 1 versus 3. And he's just going to look for exits at this point. Going to get on top the white truck, get a little bit of an angle that Torpedo not expecting whenever they actually
It's kind
fall
of annoying
back
you can't go on that ledge to his right because it's so, like, it looks like you could go on that ledge and then you get denied, and it makes me sad. Just going to throw that out there.
He has a chance to get at her here, and he
this is a
will
good
get
spot.
at
He
her.
might even get another.
He knows where he is now. Pre-aims out with the op, doesn't connect, and now Mathen's going to change.
Oh, sit in between the
positions
truck.
here.
Sit in between the truck. Oh, if he had done it from the start instead of kind of getting spotted and then trying to re-peek it, like it's really hard to see people in between that truck. He probably could have got another frag.
But now we've had each team win a rifle round, one after the other. No one's able to string together 2 in a row just yet. But now Torpedo going to have the opportunity to finally get 2 in a row this half, as LDLC White will be pretty much on a full save. We see a couple of upgraded pistols, a couple of P250s come out, 1 Deagle there on the Madden. But this is definitely Torpedo's chance to get right back into it here and just stay so close to LDLC White on the scoreboard, close that gap up. And we do see them just kind of spread it out, looking for the aggression, already finding a pick on the body.
Well, let's be honest. They probably win this round, and this should have been 4 in a row for Torpedo. Let's not forget Fuchs won that 1v2 by just sticking the bomb straight out in the open.
Right.
That shouldn't have happened. Chat commenting on that.
Yeah, that is certainly true. So I mean, Torpedo certainly had some opportunities to get the gap closed sooner, so to speak, or not even allow it to be created in the first place. But now they're recovering. Now they're hopping back into it here. They should have this round, but there are 2. There is still, or excuse me, just 1 here. It's gonna be Toinu. Now Devil was slipping in with the Deagle. He'll even get in before they start executing. So maybe, just maybe, through the ninjaing of the smoke, they can make it happen. Oh, poor guy.
Wow. Trying to go up top, hoping op is more so focusing on the quad. That will fall. There's actually a TK here from Decent, but it won't matter. T's hits too. Very nice shot to open it up. And there it is. There's that 10-11 score line and a chance for 11-11 because LDLC White, their economy is actually not so good right now.
Yeah,
high 3Ks. Could force, but that would be a bit awkward. And it's getting close and towards the end of the actual game. So they should be careful. They will even out the money a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get a couple of upgraded pistols here again, but Devil really the only one making that much of an investment with the smoke and a couple of flashes. They'll use it to get aggressive here on the mid-garage. Body even just slipping through the smoke, trying to play around it, but Decent, he will be here. They're going to try to boost, and oh, man, they're going to get caught so bad here. He only gets 1, though, however, before being forced to fall back. He got tagged, but now Adder, who is boosted up, is able to kind of catch him back there, and so Torpedo should have this one, no problem.
Yep, everyone's staying alive. Adder with another 3K. This man's been doing quite well. 17 and 11. He's actually got the second most frags in the server. The most is Awayn up there at 19. And we are tied up. And here comes the rifle round from LDLC White. Double ops for them. We saw this kind of change the CT side for Torpedo. Let's see if it doesn't have the same effect here for the Frenchman.
Yeah, like I said, it's a very, very viable tactic. This is one of the big maps where double op CT side works. You could add Dust 2 into the mix as well as Train, and they will anchor each site with one and put 3 rifles dedicated mid. So I really love this setup. It allows for quick rotations. It allows you to put pressure on mid, which is big. If Terrors can get control of that, they can do so much with it. So you're denying that with a lot of pressure. And I just feel this is like a really, really strong way to play the CT side. And Torpedo just playing spread out again, just trying to see if they can't find any picks. Alien has slipped all the way into checkers, and I don't think it's been noticed. He will get pop flashed, though, by Team LDLC White and Bobby will clear it out, man.
My boy Bobby.
I don't even know, man. This is why I don't play by playcast. I don't.
That's a French ass name, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
So good. I'll sell propane. Europe's like, what? That's
Europe
right.
has
We have
no
better
clue.
TV shows than you, Europe. Deal with that. You might have better Counter-Strike players, but our TV shows are on point. Anyways, I digress into this 5-on-4 situation. Tied up 11-11. Oh, that flash will be dodged. Fuchs hits the first and does dink the second, but Adder is good for the kill. Now Devil trying to spray down from fence, lights 2 people up, but isn't able to kill either of them. Actually, I don't even think he did much to tease. Oh, has been spotted. Matten with 2 nice shots. One with the pistol, one with the op. And that leaves Darty trying to just hold on. I mean, those are hard shots. He, I guess, technically had an opportunity to hit them both, but that's almost too much to ask. Good effort from Darty, nevertheless.
Yeah, so LDLC White going to edge out around here. Just you put that double op setup to work, and they will take the lead for now. There's at least a couple of King of the Hill people out there in chat who picked up on that. It makes me feel a little bit better that I screwed up that dude's
Your
name,
impression was
but
actually pretty good.
I mean, I am
Don't
in
let
the
it get
South
don't
United
let it get
States,
to your
so,
head. So
well, I mean, any Southern impression that you could hope for, I got you. You know.
that's true. No, I just want Bojangles. Anyways, we've got AKs and we've got a FAMAS over on the side of LDLC White. So in terms of the rifles, I guess you're looking to be better with the AKs. But again, those 2 ops come out from Matten and Toinu. Here come a ton of smokes onto this A site. And will it actually be an A hit? I wasn't so sure, but now I'm seeing the bomb slide up.
Yeah.
It's like
But
really
they did-
delayed.
Yeah, but they
look
spilled
at
out
that.
highway. That's
Yeah.
the perfect way to play it. You pull everyone into the site with those smokes, and you just come up highway late. Very well orchestrated there from Torpedo. And they are going to get into this site and get this bomb planted. But, oh, Bobby, he's back, man.
Bobby.
Selling that propane, getting it done. Bomb down. Alien alone in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, those are really nice shots. I thought it was over once Decent hit a jumping AK shot coming through the smoke. But then Body is there to pull up a very nice triple kill. Alien, oh wow, that must have been quite a shot from Matten through the gap in the truck. So there's the round for LDLC White, 13-11.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate because I thought Torpedo really did play out that tactic well. I mean, they throw those telegraphed A smokes that can either mean, as you said, nowadays it can either mean, yeah, it's just A hits, super telegraph, we know it's coming, but it can still be so powerful that you have a hard time dealing with it because, you're still isolated inside the site. But the other thing that teams do with it is that late highway hit off of it, and they caught 2 people completely off guard, not even paying attention, but still Body just making a massive play to prevent Torpedo from getting the W there. And Torpedo trying to fight back, though they do have mid control. They're working into the vents here, and we'll see them split this B bomb side.
Matten with an op, kind of stuck in the corner. Not really the place you'd want to take this. I think he did connect. Hits him again even onto Adder. Thought he got him through the vent. Oh, burning alive. Can he peek out? Is good for 1 more. Actually gets spammed. It doesn't even die to the fire, and there's Body from the site with 2 headshots. 14-11. Looks like LDLC White might just be able to close this one out. Torpedo, though, with a decent amount of money, as they are in that buy-to-win situation, so they will do just that. They will buy, but will they win?
Yeah, I mean, LDLC White's won some really key rounds this round. I mean, you have I'm going to say Bobby making a big play in the A bomb side a couple
Don't ruin
rounds
a good
ago.
joke, Dust. Come on.
Yeah, I just got to keep it right. Just got to ride with it, right? And then Madden with the op, even getting Molly making a sick play at the back of checkers last round. So I mean, they're just coming up with some nice individual efforts here, playing together well as a team, of course. Also, And now, I mean, Torpedo, this is kind of their last-ditch effort here. They have most of their money that they had left invested into this. They're just going to try to spill out A, and we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, Devil's on the catwalk. They've already got underneath him, though, so it might fall onto Fuchs. T's peeking over Toxic. Will bring down Fuchs. Devil up top, starts to push, gets blind. AoE and grabs him. I think that's Toinu over from Truck. That will get AoE and Adder able to pick up the bomb, even though it's a bit smoky. And he'll get that plant down. Body going to push in. T's will silence him, and Toinu to find another. That's his second. We've got a 2-on-2. Nade's doing some damage. Flash is going out from the terraces. He's really... I thought he was thinking about pushing that smoke. He's like, you got to be crazy. Oh, yeah, maybe he will now. They'll flash it. They're trying to push through it themselves. Both of these guys turning. LDLC hasn't quite made the move yet. Smoke starting to dissipate. The gap has emerged. They're going to try to boost over the box, and it works out beautifully. Good teamwork. What a way to get over that smoke.
I didn't think that was going to work. I thought Tees was going to be able to pick up on that there. I mean, he was staring straight at Mathen when he stepped up, and Mathen got the first frag, which is fine, but I thought Tees was going to be able to trade that back into a 1v1, and Torpedo would just went off the clock at that point, but Mathen just... fixes his aim after the first kill and gets the second one right after. And I mean, these retakes from LDLC White on the 8 bombs that have just been relentless. I mean, it's kind of on one hand tough to watch because you see Torpedo execute really, really well and get the bomb down and have this favorable position. And so that's a great effort from them to make those moves. But then LDLC White on these retakes have just been so powerful.
Ooh,
and now we're coming down to what could be the last round of the half so far. Equal exchange at B, but yeah, exactly. The flash comes out, but still even, still 3-on-3, but Torpedo on low HP.
Yeah, leaving Alien with just 2 HP. The flash didn't quite grab the first guy. I thought maybe there was a chance he wouldn't get anything, but a great pop flash from Checker. If you play B, make sure to learn that. That'll improve your game. And Torpedo will keep this going. They're playing for the tie right now. 3 people alive. Alien with the triple, and he had a very nice one-tap with the AK to take down Matent, who was starting to terrorize people with everything, really, but the op in this round, or the last one.
Yeah, this is the nicest chat I've ever seen in my life, Joey, I think, in CSGO.
It's just because they like us for once?
Yeah, that might be part of it. But no, they're just even chill with each other in there. No,
Yo, I already said we were watching Netflix and chilling after this. Let's go.
All right, well, there you go. As LDLC White are going to have to take a save here, but I mean, they do have the lead. Torpedo's the one that has to pressure on them. They have to win 3 in a row to force an overtime here. This round, they have a great chance to start working on that.
Oh, they're trying to go for the run boost.
Yeah, they were trying to do some type of crazy run boost there, but unfortunately, it was discovered, and Devil going to eat a lot of damage for it.
I've only ever seen Cloud9 pull that off.
I've never seen anyone pull that off, actually.
I think it was Cloud9. Yeah, you run off the little garage, like roll-up awning, whatever you want to call it, and instead of hitting the super, super hard, KZ cash, you just fly over and land right on top of the boost. It's pretty sick.
But, all of them out in mid and decent, picking up on all of them so far. Mathen does find one in the mix, but that's going to probably be it here. As the bomb does take a plant at A. Mathen chasing after Darty. He knows he's in the closet, but he's blind. There's a smoke in the way. Now he pulled out his knife. He's just left looking around, hoping he's going to find something, but he'll just find death instead.
Slice that bagel.
How do you understand?
I was hoping we'd just move on. Have you ever? It's hard to slice a bagel with a knife, man. There's a reason bagel slicers were invented, so that people don't cut off their fingers or their entire hands.
Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade.
Or no, I don't get that one. I'm sorry.
You what? Sling blade? Are you kidding me? Billy Bob Thornton, crazy killer guy, kills people with the lawnmower blade.
I haven't seen it.
I
do know who you're talking about, though.
I'm done.
Sorry, I let it drop.
Done, dude.
So Body's got a scout, and Torpedo are actually finding themselves with a really good chance to take this into overtime. Matten with the 5-7 pushing out. He'll be brought in by Alien. Alien's been pretty good over there in those B warehouses, B main, whatever you may call it, finding these opening frags.
Right on here, and that means Torpedo
gets another fire kill too.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, Torpedo just spilling out the B bomb site now. Toinu left all alone with just a CZ. He's in heaven. He will find the frag on the Alien, and avoids that fire for now, but he'll just find a smoke in his face at lower CT, so still not going to be able to really do much. Puts some damage on the T's, but can't finish it off, and so Torpedo, they'll work ever closer to this whole tie situation and maybe even put this into overtime. They can get this one. I mean, LDLC White have been pretty conservative with their money throughout this entire time, making sure that they could make the full purchase here. So this'll be for it all. It goes the distance, and it may even go the extra mile if we see Torpedo pick this one up.
All right. All A4s, you're just going to be out on, the neighborhood watch, looking out for the A1Ss, seeing them walking down the street. Call the police or something like that. You just don't see the A1S anymore. Despite the armor pen nerf still not taking effect, if I am correct in thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it still has the laser accuracy, though. So I think it's still very viable. I mean, yeah, it's a slower rate of fire, but it wasn't reduced too much, in my opinion. I think it still has its place. I remember Days was talking about it on the stream, how he felt it still.
If they actually put in the
good.
armor pen, once that takes effect, though, there's no reason.
And maybe
to use
that's
it.
why people have already switched to the Unsunsen 4 because they're thinking, oh, they're going to eventually put that in. So let's just go ahead and
to warm up with it early.
Right.
Out over mid, one has dropped, one on the boost. Fuchs may not expect this. He's behind the white box, jumps, but Decent still behind the smoke. Just going to make sure no one's close to white box. We'll drop the incendiary. I'm not sure that would have actually done the job. Oh, wow. Fuchs very, very blind. Starts shooting, kind of gives his spot away as a result, and Decent will get the opening kill of the round.
And Torpedo gets in here. Devil inside the site gets picked up as well. But let's not forget, these LDLC white retakes have been pretty good, but Decent catching Mathen. And now they don't have much to use to even attempt a retake here. Just to op on Toynu. His rotate's pretty far off. He's playing a dangerous game with Adder at the forklift here, trying to angle towards the site.
If they had kits, I was about to say, this is pretty winnable. Look how low two of these guys are. They could very easily turn into a 2 versus 2, but it's not going to be the case. Long range, and I mean,
poor guy.
Someone give that man a M4A1S, right?
Yeah, he would have
probably would have had it
at that point. And it is going to be a tie game though, so we are in fact going to see the overtime. It is the MR3 rule set, 10K money, first to 19 wins. Otherwise, if we see an 18-18 split, we will move on to a second OT.
We probably will.
And I mean, both halves have been 8-7 split, so both teams demonstrating the ability to play both sides pretty evenly against each other in this game. So, I mean, it's one thing to have a 15-15 game. You know it's close because it's going to overtime, but a lot of times it can be because, like, each team just were able to blow out one side but couldn't play the other. In this case, again, we've seen actually both teams get 8 rounds on T, 7 on CT, so very, very balanced game thus far.
Yeah, so just looking at some of the players here, the performance body, or as Dust might call him, Bobby, having the highest efficacy here for LDLC White. He got 3 first kills, had 20 kills, was actually -3. Mathen had the best, just KD. He was 22 and 20. Oh, so actually he had the most kills, but some of those were less impact frags, either picking them up, while saving and then losing the round, but able to save a gun, something like that. Which, to be fair, is like still fairly important, right? Getting those kills and able to stay alive. But not that stuff like that, not so much reflected on paper. Looking over at Torpedo, though, actually the player with the highest efficacy in the game is Awian, 26 and 20, also with the highest KD.
I mean, he had some big rounds with the op on CT side that I can recall. And the frag distribution actually really tight.
Awian had 7 first kills, dude. That's pretty crazy.
The frag distribution's so tight over on the Torpedo side as well. I mean,
well,
outside of Alien, everyone's only a couple of frags apart. So.
Oh, wow. Toynu with only 10, man. He hasn't been able to really put together anything. Like, normally he can be a beast with the op, and he had that one round where he disconnected.
If you recall, he was taking a lot of aggressive duels with the op on B main or getting boosted at mid. And in all those cases, he was never really using any type of nade support to gain an advantage. Like sometimes, for example, if you're going to boost mid with the op on Terra side, you might put a smoke on CTZ to force someone to have to step out of that if they want to duel you, or force someone to peek out from highway to check you. Instead, he was just running out there with nothing and just taking the head-on duels, and he was losing a lot of those battles. To either Alien whenever he was going towards B and mid, or maybe even catching T's over at A. And I think maybe that was just a confidence thing, thinking he could win those duels, and he wasn't.
That's probably why Alien has so many first kills. They're probably all on Toynu.
A lot of them were that I can recall from that first half for sure. When LDLC White was on the terrorist side to start, Toyna was losing a lot of those battles that he was trying to take picks on the B side of the map.
Alien also had a 4K, a 3K, and 5 2Ks. So, I mean, that guy was playing really, really well. We saw Adder. I know he had back-to-back 3Ks. One was an eco round, one was a pistol round. I'm not sure exactly what the other 3K was, but, I mean, even he was playing exceptionally well. But, of course, I mean, both teams played more or less good enough to keep it even and get into overtime here. So let's get back into it.
I mean, I think the big thing is just LDLC White had the lead. I think they had like 4 map points to put this thing away and just couldn't do it. And it was just kind of crazy because their retakes on the A bomb side had been so good earlier on in the second half. Even situations where Torpedo had like a huge man advantage, LDLC White was still finding ways to retake that A bomb site. But then towards the end of the half there, when Torpedo's go on their 4 or 5 rounds in a row run to get this in the OT, all of a sudden those retakes were breaking down for LDLC White. They weren't working anymore, and it's kind of hard to tell if LDLC White was just kind of falling off a bit or if Torpedo was just tightening up their play and executing their post play on holds better. Either way, we have found ourselves in the overtime. LDLC White, of course, just retaining their CT side here. 1-3-1, so the double op in effect here, anchoring the sites, and they will even counter boost.
Yeah, I love this spot also that Tease is in on top of that sign, looking all the way into B, just playing ultra patient, hoping someone will push through. But little does Torpedo know they're about to get shot in the back. There's Body to bring down Alien. And Body also going to found Tease, who that was the man that was watching that B push, and he just falls to the counter boost. So the counter boost takes 2 lives away from Torpedo. Now they got to try to execute onto this site of, I mean, no one's here. They can plant the bomb, but it's overtime. The bomb plants don't really matter. It's not like this is a pistol round.
Right. I mean, money really matters more for CTs and OT. They're the ones that are at more risk of losing. But I guess like getting this bomb plant might help them if they lose this round and next to still make sure they have full equipment value. So that does help long term. But they need to try to close out this round. But we know the LDC White retakes have been good. So far, decent, holding this off pretty well despite the fact they're a man down. But look at this Torpedo just turning the tide so quickly inside A main. I mean, this was a 5-on-3, and then it's a flawless round from that point forward for Torpedo, not losing a single member after those initial 2 losses on the counter boost. That is a big round for Torpedo despite the slow start. That's insane. LDLC White.
That round's like the complete opposite of regulation. Regulation was Torpedo being aggressive, getting opening kills, taking the site, and then falling because LDLC White was able to overtake. This one, LDLC White counter boost, gets aggressive, kills 2, have the round pretty much given to them, and then can't retake 3v5.
Yeah, exactly. It is crazy how many times we've seen the team with lower numbers find a way to end the round in that A bomb site for their favor despite having the disadvantage. Just kind of uncanny how that keeps happening. And now Torpedo with the lead here in overtime, just spreading out the map again here. We do have no ops on LDLC White this time. Just enforce across the board, obviously tightening up on their fun since they know that they could even be forced to save third round if they don't figure something out here, as Torpedo will be just looking to take mid control, and they do flush Body out of the vents, but
it wasn't timed with Alien.
Yeah, exactly. Alien didn't actually get to catch the fall back there, but it still gives them mid control.
All right, well, Alien is still over here, and of course still dangerous. He had the most first kills in regulation, and he might be getting another here. He does, and another! Wow! Getting Body and Matten out of the round like that, able to plant. And you already touched on it. Money, very important in OT for the CTs. They'll have to save if they want another full rifle round, so all 3 of them scurry off and boost up over towards that squeaky room.
And I mean, Torpedo, they have money to chase here, so they certainly will try to go out and see if they can't discover these M4s and bring them down and force LDLC White into a tough situation next round where they won't have much to work with if they do, in fact, take a loss here, as Darty is already pressed in. He does spot Devil, puts the damage on him here. They're just trying to bait it. Fuchs is playing the corner, but he saw that Molotov came from him, so he should know they're in there. That's why you see a second one thrown in to force him out, and now they'll just step in, and they get the job done. Very well played from Torpedo. They had some nades left over and used them very effectively to prevent those M4s from being saved, and so now they're up 17-5, and with that chase down, White have nothing to work with but Deagles. Deagles and dreams, man. Deagles and dreams. But don't let your dreams be dreams, LDLC White. You can do this. Just do it, man.
Yeah, just do it. I feel like Nike started that first, and they're probably upset they're not getting money from this, but...
Yeah, just flash a Nike logo in real quick there on the green screen, and it'll be all fine.
Or is it already there, very subliminally?
That's what the video was made for all along, was a very passive campaign for Nike.
Molotovs kind of look like a swoosh. You know?
I'm not seeing that one, but...
I mean, you gotta rotate it around a little bit.
Okay.
Angle it the other way. I think you can get there. You can make the case. Imagine like a Adidas or Nike skinned AK. That'd be sick. That'd be total sellout.
Super sellout.
All right, here we go. Flashing in. Not going to grab either. Oh my gosh. The terrorists think they're the ones about to make the pop flash play, but there's an even more deadly flash going in, and it will get the terrorists. Moving in with just the Deagles and the Dreams. LDLC White might just be able to do this. Oh, Devil will get caught off guard as he's trying to dodge those Molotovs. The fire is hot.
Anyway, now able to come up highway as well, so now there's some good angles here for Torpedo to keep attacking to this A-bomb side, but somehow the Deagles of LDLC White are holding this off. Mathin looking for another, just barely escaping with his life is decent, and oh, he'll still pick it out of there with the bomb, so now they can plant B, and Alien can fall off here, but maybe he'll get caught by Mathin. God, they just keep escaping just barely from Mathin's Deagle. Do they have... Okay, yeah, they have time. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, barely. They had 2 seconds to spare, pretty much. So we will get the bomb down. Mathead now coming. They probably hear that wood, so they know he's upper, and yeah, they already will take a shot out and connect. These guys are very low. But with the Deagle, slow rate of fire, seeing them both like that, not much you can do. And there it is.
That's a flawless half from you know, Torpedo on the T side of Cash, and then they just need to punch in one more. They'll get 3 chances to do it. And if so, they will win this in OT1. LDLC White will have to, you know, respond with 3 of their own to force second overtime. And we do know that in regulation, both these teams did have a little bit better luck on the T side than CT side.
I mean, 1 round, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's the difference, right? Like, obviously, we're only playing 3 rounds per half in OT instead of, you know, 15 rounds. So there's a big sample size difference there. So
I mean, you wouldn't have expected the perfect 3-0.
Exactly. It would be like a 2-1 or something like that, or maybe even 1-2. But even then, the ratio doesn't really quite work out. I'm not even going to try to get to the math of that.
I was thinking about doing it, and I was like, nah.
I mean, I know you are capable.
I could do it.
Like 1.12
yeah,
rounds.
It's a fraction of a round.
Yeah. So it's not even worth touching on. The point is that Torpedo, I guess you could say, overperformed and compared to regulation on how they handled that T side.
And look at this. I mean, you got the money. You pull out an op and a Scar 20, and you pretty much. I mean, no mistakes from LDLC White. They will lose. If they lose 1 round, Torpedo will have 2 good shots. Like if they don't get the first, they will have a rifle round in the second. So they've got 2 good shots to close it out. If you get to the point where LDLC White have won 2 in a row, they probably will just go ahead and get the 3rd. But let's see. They got the first kill. They've brought down decent. So that's a decent way to start the round.
Yeah, Body takes a lot of damage for that to get the job done, but it's still done. Alien does have this auto sniper set up there at Truck. He could easily just get smoked off, but then there is that capability of him just kind of spamming through and catching one. But Toinu with the out catches Tease. Darty pushing mid, trying to make a play. He does catch Math in there, so that helps even up the numbers again. He also catches Body. Oh my goodness, I can't believe Body didn't catch him on that boost. I thought for sure he had the jump on him, but Darty makes 2 key plays to get Torpedo back into the round, and now Adder finds 2, and oh no, I think this is over. Wow, I can't even believe that happened there.
I think you might be right. I think it is over.
I mean, clearly.
I'm not sure.
Clearly it is.
It might be over.
Yeah, that's just nuts how Darty was able to get those 2 frags at mid like that, and then Adder coming in with 3. They just didn't check that squeaky Techers box, and he made him pay for it there. So perfect overtime for Torpedo to win the game 19-15. So props to them. They get the job done.